What do you want to be when you grow up?
YouTuber.
Never before seen in YouTube history.
We controlled Rewind this year.
And you did it at my birthday dinner.
YouTube's greatest innovation was making recognition accessible to anyone. With fame so reachable, everybody wanted their shot. What started off as a tool to project the everyman's voice across the world has shifted into a hollow auction for the most valuable real estate of all, every second of our attention. Now, years into the creator boom, we are feeling the strain of an oversaturated fame market. Hi, I'm new here, and I'm here to make it worse, but please stay. So we have an influx of creators, and it's starting to feel like fame is a resource that can be depleted. That may sound strange because fame is not a tangible thing you can measure, but what we can measure is the amount of free time our audience has. That's what we're fighting for. Thank you for tuning in to my very first YouTube channel. I just worked really hard on it. I've never done fine white powders before, or how they like to call it in the streets, heroin. Whenever I'm editing late at night, I like to play the song Mario World Athletic Yoshi, the one that goes bum bum ba-da-dum, ba-dum, ba-dum, ba-dum. And surely that's how heroin feels like. Tomato. If this video transition I made flabbergasted you, you must subscribe to me. But let's rewind to 2007. Where the internet changed forever. YouTube rolled out their paid partnership program, a groundbreaking program where ordinary people like you and me can get paid just by being ourselves on their platform. Other social media companies saw YouTube's success in supporting creators and followed suit. And with that, the demand for content creators exploded. But of course, you can't have too many fish in the tank without upsetting the balance. You can't have too many cooks in the kitchen without changing the recipe. You can't have too many cars in the road or there'll be an accident. But with all these creators, why does it seem like YouTubers are having a harder time reaching the influence they once did? Wait, I still want to talk about Vine.
Back at it again at Krispy Kreme.
Road work ahead? Yeah, I sure hope it does.
Online video-based fame translated the best to actual fame. But even the most dedicated YouTubers were locked in on a weekly schedule because it takes time and effort to make a video. But what if the barrier to entry were lower? What if you only needed 6 seconds of content to post a completed video? Humor, relatability, conclusions. A full hero's journey all in 6 seconds.
Wow.
6 seconds is all you need to submit a raffle ticket to stardom. Vine exploded into the scene in 2013, revolutionizing internet culture with this new idea of short-form content. No longer do you need to script, storyboard, and schedule filming. 6 seconds is all you need, and people were good at it. We had so many talents rising from Vine. To name a few, Shawn Mendes is a pop star now. Liza Koshy is just an all-around entertainer, and the Paul brothers are celebrity boxers and part-time public enemies. Vine was beginning to solidify itself as a social space that can really push the cultural needle. It was such a huge success that it was the top most downloaded app of its year. And how does Vine thank their content creators? Camp Vine.
Howdy, campers! Welcome to Camp Unplugged.
Oh my god.
Oh my god!
Wasn't it so cool when Jimmy Neutron and Timmy Turner crossed over and existed in the same universe? Camp Unplugged was exactly that. Viners plucked out their current most popular Viners right out of your feed and made one big collab, Camp Unplugged. It was a mini-series in Vine format, which was really cool for us viewers because we can watch our favorite entertainers interacting with one another. But it was Vine's only way of compensating their creators, so we can already see over the horizon Vine's end. But the greatest thing that Vine proved to us is that short-form content worked. But it not only worked, our animal brains craved it. Vine left a short-form content hole in our zeitgeist ready to be filled. Whoa! Oh god, here it comes! TikTok entered the zeitgeist to fill that hole and changed my day-to-day life irrevocably. Sure. TikTok entered the zeitgeist in the most detrimental time of our era. TikTok became the most perfect escape during the lockdown. Short, addictive videos powered by the sharpest recommendation tool online. With endless hours at home and no natural stopping point in the feed, a lot of us fell for the app. And what made TikTok so great for creators? Its algorithm. TikTok prioritizes content over follower count. No matter how many followers you had, they try all videos from a small audience. And if your video does great in that small audience, it gets projected onto more FYP pages. And unlike other platforms like YouTube, where you have to choose your own entertainment, TikTok feeds you the entertainment that they think you would want to watch. So the chance of your video getting forced upon people's feeds is very high. So great news, TikTok is content forward and you're more likely to get recognized. But bad news, TikTok is content forward and fame, the spotlight is forever fleeting. Yesterday's trending creators just might be invisible tomorrow. Another downside of the algorithm for creators is the hyper-curation. Congrats, one of your videos hit the mainstream FYP. You get organized. Find what retains the fame and try to keep growing. But you find yourself only growing in your niche, making you unknown to still most of TikTok. You can try to reach more viewers by doing trends, but the trends only kind of benefit the very beautiful. In 2024, TikTok was under scrutiny for allegedly using AI to filter out ugly faces and push out beautiful faces, which isn't ethical, obviously. TikTok further exacerbates the illusion of internet fame. So while TikTok's algorithm gives almost anyone a shot at overnight fame, it makes popularity fragile. Having 1 million followers on TikTok is still an incredible feat, but the app's constant churn of content makes the milestone feel less rare, and therefore less valuable. During a 30-minute lunch break, if you pull up TikTok, you'll be able to watch 50, 60 videos. If you're watching YouTube, you maybe watch 2 to 5 videos, and probably it's YouTubers you already know. So in 30 minutes, a viewer can give 50 to 60 TikTok creators a view and maybe even a follow. This causes an influx of TikTok stars, further depreciating the status. The best example to show the discrepancy of TikTok followers to fame is the story of Grace Africa. She's a TikToker who makes funny and relatable videos about everyday life, incorporating her experiences as a Nigerian-American nurse. Once she amassed about 1.3 million followers on TikTok, she hosted a meet and greet at VidCon 2022 and no one showed up. Hey! The conclusion of this segment is more or less that TikTok fragmented the spotlight. Let's think of it like this. Fame is the Shikon jewel of Inuyasha. In the story, the jewel is fragmented into shards, and if you hold this shard, you have a sliver of power. At the very beginning of the internet, it was as if the jewel was fragmented into 50 to 100 shards. But post-TikTok, the jewel is now fragmented into thousands and thousands of shards, making today's shard holder weaker than an earlier shard holder. Alright, good night. Gen Z shake vs millennial pause, explained by a schizophrenic. I promise this is relevant. The Gen Z shake versus the millennial pause is the physical manifestation of generational differences of being perceived on the internet. I feel like this whole sentiment I'm about to talk about is very duh and even a little dadoy, but let me waste a few more minutes of your time in case we're not all caught up. This is the millennial pause. This is the Gen Z shake. And here's me reading too into it. Gen Z creators don't want to be perceived as someone who is intentionally trying to curate an image. They just are. They like their Instagram monthly photo dumps to be out of focus and in the moment, while millennials don't really think twice about the optics of wanting to be perceived. They will post a perfectly cropped picture of them and their girlfriends, and we can tell it took them several tries to get the perfect shot. They don't think about how the millennial pause implies intention to make a video. There need to be perceived, as opposed to Gen Z's floundering to set up their camera as if we caught them at a bad time to get the latest scoop of their life. You know what? I will take this small phenomenon and project it onto other generational differences. There's new kids on the block, they're Gen Z, and they're not impressed with online celebrities the way millennials are. Millennials experienced the first wave of online celebrities. When they were still novel, they represented the new frontier of alternative fame. In 2010, the top 10 most subscribed YouTubers had about 1 to 2 million subscribers. Today, 39k TikTok accounts and 69k YouTube accounts have at least 1 million followers. Back then, people believed that creators were doing it for the love of the game. Now, decades later, the same platforms we used have fine-tuned their algorithms to keep us in a constant state of insecurity, panic, and FOMO, so some creators can swoop in and hold our attention hostage, while selling us ways to feel better about ourselves. At this point, I think most of us have become weary consumers and don't hold online celebrities in all the way we used to. Gen Z invented the very cool and low-effort filming style of sitting on the floor with their Amazon page 1 purchase lav mics clipped onto a wooden spoon. They don't try too hard. They got other things going on besides satiating their need to be perceived positively online. Millennials have dominated online celebritydom up until this point, so it's hard to decipher what is millennial media versus what is just general media made up by millennials. But a pattern I see mostly in millennial creators is the kind of infantilization of themselves. They kind of act like cartoon characters. Not too much on Lisa now, she's kind of snipping the mother bob of vagina of Country's head. The generation that decides what is in and what is out has changed. Gen Z prefers creators that feel more like peers and less like performers. They don't gravitate towards big creators with mass appeal because it's dubious. What do they want from us? Online fame is embarrassing part 1. Hollywood versus internet. Let's talk about the parallels of two stories. In fall of 2022, two stories broke out dismantling the illusion of wife guys. Wife guy Ned Fulmer and wife guy John Mulaney allegedly cheated on their wives. But while one had a messy fallout with his ex-company and is probably banished from the limelight forever, I recorded that on September 17 and Ned Fulmer is back. What a coincidence. I will not be engaging. The other was able to come back completely unscathed and even more successful. That's because John Mulaney is very well established in Hollywood. His high-profile Hollywood friend is able to bring him out on his talk show. The opening of this segment is the most awkward thing ever. It's just so controlled.
Please welcome back to the show our very good friend John Mulaney. You're back.
And even make the audience clap when he announces his alleged affair baby.
And we're having a baby together. Thanks.
Do you hear that? All 5 of the audience members clapped. The baby's innocent in all of this, obviously, and by Anna Marie Tendler's book. While SNL mocks the Try Guys predicament, they were completely silent on John Mulaney's story. That's because John Mulaney is a big-name coworker of theirs, and Hollywood guys are known to protect their own. You may raise a point that the stories are completely incomparable, although it reached the same conclusion. Cheating. The story's completely different. Ned Fulmer is not as famous as John Mulaney, while John Mulaney is almost too famous to fail. John is genuinely talented, while Ned is just one of the Ford talents, and a 3-wheeled automobile still can drive. You would be surprised that Ned Fulmer's cheating scandal was the winning scandal that polluted conversations of that week. This story proves to us that sometimes internet famous people can penetrate deeper into the cultural conversation. John Mulaney can disappear and reappear with a new Netflix special or SNL skit every few months, but Ned Fulmer has to pump out a video every week to maintain his relevancy. So it's no wonder social media consumers feel more affected by some guy they see every 7 days. Therefore, online fame leads to more punishment. Online fame is embarrassing part 2. Where's your manager? Online stars lack one major thing that Hollywood stars have, and it's Hollywood management. A Hollywood manager would have crashed their car into Colleen Ballinger's house to stop her from posting her ukulele apology video, the one that torched her little goodwill that she had left. Most online stars fade quietly into irrelevancy, but Gabby Hanna's stardom unraveled in a targeted public dismantling, one that ultimately crescendoed into the collapse of her mental health, also for the public eye to see, and I hope she maintains the peace she found. There are so many more examples of online stars being embarrassing.
I guess. I love you, Mom and Dad.
And Hollywood stars are also embarrassing too. The Imagine video proves that most Hollywood actors do have the password to their own social media accounts and are allowed to exercise their free will. The difference is that Hollywood stars can log off whenever they want and still maintain their fame, their relevancy, and their money. Online stars don't have that luxury without the threat of falling off, never to be spoken about again. The cost of being perceived as an online star is cheaper, so they have to keep showing up. They have to still be accessible to us. When an online star becomes a real-life star, they often disengage with social media. Addison Rae is a perfect example. She still had to log on and be perceived after the wider public consensus gave her the thumbs down of coolness.
She is Asian.
You don't know that. She could be Korean.
Am I a sick?
Oh yeah, of course. Let me do this TikTok really quick.
But now that she's made it as a cool girl new sound pop star, we barely see her online without a barrier of PR. She only posts online to serve Y2K babe and promote her music. And this is what she has to say about social media now.
You know
I'm
how
so
scared
excited
I
to have
am.
you here. I know. Addison has been telling me she's been scared to come on, but I told her she's safe and we're gonna have a fun time with this episode.
I have content phobia.
I know. You look what y'all did. So now I gotta swaddle her back into this space, and we will be very nice, and it'll be a good time for you. I promise.
Can you believe you just let me drag you through this rigmarole, this labyrinth of hot words? Online fame has always been a limited supply. What started as a beautiful experiment, giving one of us the stage, has been commercialized beyond recognition. Platforms that seem to promise us to spread good faith ideas now bow down to greed. Algorithms don't serve us. They hold our anxieties hostage, just to pummel us with ads. Hollywood sustains its celebrities as a business, but online, the platform is the business, and we creators are the disposable fuel. Burned, replaced, forgotten. Social media has simply reached its fully optimized final form as a ringing machine. The apex predator of making my ad block bug out every few months. The online landscape has changed drastically since the early internet. We are entertaining a new generation of content consumers, and the generation after them is about to become cognitive viewers. Skibidi Toilet is not gonna cut it for them anymore. Optimization for monetization will always be a constant variable. But isn't it kind of beautiful that we still are here, and we're still making things? That we spend our limited hours leaving proof that we were here, and that we tried to reach people. Whenever I question if my motivations are pure self-expression or corrupted by the algorithmic noise, I come back to this YouTube comment I once read. How strange is it to be anything at all? It was written by Chris Talbot 450. And albeit it was written in the context of Edward Cullen making him question his sexuality, and then I found out it was the Neutral Milk Hotel lyrics. How strange is it to be anything at all? How strange is it to want anything at all? I think about it and I stop questioning myself. I stop worrying about the odds stacked up against me. I stop fussing about what my motivations could be for my intrinsic wants. And the last thing that's left to do is just to keep going. You didn't catch me lacking. I forgot my ring at my parents' house. They're getting older and I think about that a lot.